Welcome back to the channel. Gotta feel this, man. UFC Ribas versus Namajunas. We're gonna get right into it. The first fight I want to talk about is 7-0. Peyton Talbott versus Cameron Simon, who is 9-1 in the bantamweight division. I mean, what can I say about Peyton Talbott but pure dominance? Seemed like nothing that Simon threw affected him. He just straight out muscled him in every aspect of the fight. Pure dominance. But I gotta give it to Simon. Tough mother. What? I like Simon. You feel me? And I can see why he's never been finished in a fight. Tough. You know, Peyton Talbott had him hurt multiple times where most fighters would have took that opportunity and laid down. Did one of these and said, ref, stop it. You know, but what I like about Simon, he did not give up. And he was getting beat on. But he stayed composed and, not only did he continue to try to fight through, but and persevere, he continued to try to win. It wasn't like, all right, I survived that, give me a hand clap. No, he was still trying to fight and win. But Talbot just was too much for him. One of the things I loved about Talbot was his mix-up game. He was hitting him with hooks. He was hitting him with knees, kicks, spinning. You know what I'm saying? He gave him everything he could actually look for. And it was a great and exciting fight. I mean, the fans won in that fight. I mean, for real, I thought Talbot could have been finished him. But when you got somebody as tough as Simon who's just not going to take that out, like a lot of fighters do it all the time. Where, yeah, you got hurt, but the commitment to surviving is not in them. And then after you survive, are you willing to continue to even try to win? So Simon, he's definitely on my radar of a guy to look for. Toughness, the will, loved everything about it, even though he lost. But as a fan, he still got the win in my book. That's why losses don't matter. Okay, moving on to the next fight, we got the middleweight division. Shahbazyan, 12-4 versus 7-2 AJ Dobson in the middleweight division. Now, this fight, it was pretty confusing as hell to me. So AJ Dobson, he had great boxing. Great boxing. He had him. He was hitting him. And I don't know, it's like, I don't know if I'm tripping or I'd be too excited at some time. But AJ Dobson had him hurt twice. The first time I can kind of get it. You don't really want to, this is professional. A guy might be hurt, but, at this level, things come back quicker. But when he hurt him that second time with the left hook, and you seen him go drunken monkey, kill factor. AJ Dobson, you need to work on that. You had him rocked hard. And shout out to Edmund for being gamed and, not showing that he was hurt the best way he could. He was still pressing forward. Even after the wiggle legs, he was still trying to press forward. And Dobson, man, you should have took advantage of that opportunity because after that, it was all downhill for you. Edmund got that trip, came in clutch. That trip came in clutch when he had him up and tripped him inside leg trip. But he was so hurt. This is how you know he was hurt. He was so hurt that even once he got on top, he couldn't be effective with it because he still had the cobwebs shaking his brain up, and AJ just was able to explode out of it. But all in all, the fight was just the whole fight just was very intriguing to me because I didn't. It was crazy, but yeah. So Edmund ends up knocking Dobson down and eventually out. But my whole thing was I gotta see another camera angle because the hit that supposedly knocked Dobson down, it didn't. He hit him in the neck, like in this area, not in the back of the head, like not even on the side or in the temple. He hit him like in the neck, and it was more of a trip from Dobson. You know, he tripped backwards into the cage, and he could have been hurt. I don't know, but Edmund got right on him and officially put him to sleep with them left hands. Straight round and pounded the hell out of him. So I mean, hats off to Edmund. I mean, I gotta see another camera angle, but you know, great ground and pound, solidifying win. Dobson, I feel like you let him off the hook. You had a chance to win that fight early, and you didn't have that kill factor, that instinct to go finish him. So now we're gonna move on to Carl Williams, 9-1, and Justin Tafa, who's 7-3 in the heavyweight division. Man, that fight was I can't really say well, I'm gonna say interesting because, you know, as a fight fan, you kind of want to see more. Or it's like, it's hard. You know, as a fan and somebody who's also an analyst and somebody who's trying to break down the fight. So I'm saying all that to start this off because I'm going to explain what I'm saying as I go on. Okay, so Justin Tafa, they literally said this in the broadcast. He's your stereotypical heavyweight, you know, big puncher, you know. And Carl Williams is a small guy for the heavyweight division, but that makes him more effective in elusiveness and stuff like that. Okay, so to start the fight off, eventually Tafa lands a big left hand. Not nothing to wobble him or nothing like that, but to let him know I got power right here. And once Williams felt that, he like, oh, we gotta go to the game plan now. And he grabbed Tafa, took him down as much as possible, stayed close up on him, even in top guard. Didn't do much damage in those positions and exchanges. It was more so, I don't want to feel that anymore. You know, this is just in the first round. All right, cool. We make it out the first round, second round. Same thing happens again. You know, Tafa lands a big left hand. William goes straight into wrestle mode. And my only thing with Tafa is, if your big left hand is all you're going to have, and I'm not saying as a heavyweight that's a problem, you know? Heavyweights, a big punch can take you a long way. I'm not, you know, it's our weight classes, you gotta have more than that. But in the heavyweight division, sure. But if that's gonna be your skill, you know, that's what you bring into the table, you need to work on defending some type of body control. Wrestling, you need to learn how to defend rigorously. Because in moments where Tafa was down on the ground, and I don't know if he was, I'm pretty sure he was tired at this point, but he took his time getting up. I mean, he slowly pursued to getting up, but the thing is, Carl Williams wasn't worried about that. Carl Williams was happy with just laying on you for the fight, and, you know, it was hard to watch, you know, as a fan, you know, but as a person who's thinking about game planning and winning and stuff like that, Carl Williams had the perfect game plan. You know, hold him, get a couple hits, and it wasn't like he was trying to hurt him at any point. Carl Williams. Carl Williams was in a survival mode. You know, I don't want to be punched like that again, and let me do what I have to show that I'm the superior guy. It was several moments where I felt like this shit should be stood back up. You know, it was moments where Taff was just sitting down. Granted, he may have been tired, and the broadcasters were talking about this is something that he wanted to go further into a fight, second and third round type of thing. But his conditioning didn't look like he was ready for something like that at all. But it's hard to say good job, Carl. He won, you know, but nobody wants to see that. You know, you're also an entertainer. You know, we're here to be entertained, and that was not entertaining. It looked like a guy who knows the rules, and you know, not saying there's something wrong with knowing the rules, but the effectiveness of what he was doing to actually try to hurt the guy, to try to win, didn't seem that. It seemed like it was more so a strategic way of just making it by. Sad to say. So Carl Williams, you won, but I mean, it could have been just this fight, but nobody wants to see that, buddy. Take that to the PFL or wherever. This is the big leagues. And I get it, he's coming from the Contender Series and he's trying to come up, but this was a co-main event. So, yeah, I'm disappointed. It's so much more that he could have done in those exchanges. But he didn't want that guy to get back up, so he didn't want to risk those movements, letting go and stuff like that, not being it was a cuddle session. But hopefully we can see more. I think that's a 4-fight win streak. Very impressive. You know, I didn't see your other fights. This is actually my first time seeing both of you guys. All these guys, really. But let's get to the main event. Rose Namajunas versus Ribas. I don't know her first name. Man, I can kind of say the same about this fight. I was very disappointed in Rose's approach, but I'm trying to look at it from both aspects. Her game plan, from what I could see from the fight, was to stay on the outside, stick her with jabs, go to the body, like that, you know. For Ribas, you know, it didn't seem like she had much of a game plan, but I think her most effectiveness came when she would press her rolls. When she was getting in, throwing 3, 4, 5 punches at combinations at a time. You know, getting in there, mixing it up, punch, kick, punch. That's when she had the most effectiveness. But, you know, I'm surprised that Rose being a former champion and not a certain dominance. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe it's something, because I've never seen Ribas fight. Maybe it's something she could do that I didn't know, but it didn't seem like she really had too much of an answer for Rose. The only thing she really had was the judo. I can't think of what it's called, but when you got him in like a headlock and you flip him over the hip. And she wasn't very effective with that. The first time she did it, she got rolled straight over and Rose was in top position. Second time, she was more up against the cage, but she still was in position where she could have been flipped over, but she ended up changing it. But it was for Rose to be a former champion, and that performance was, even though she won, you know, it was disappointing. It was very disappointing. I feel like Rose should have exerted more dominance, did more, you know, been more effective. Her striking was on point, you know, but I didn't fit, like, and at the same token, it's like looking at it from both aspects. Yeah, you don't want to just come in there and just assume you're going to win and stuff like that because you're a former champion or whatever, but not being the case also, like, you're a former champion, you're still in your prime, you know, you're going against somebody who's really not on your level, you know. Yeah, you've been away from. I feel like this fight was more of a just getting Rose feet back wet, getting her back established in the cage and stuff like that. But I definitely want to see her against the winner of. I can't think of their names right now, but the women who coming up next real soon, who fight in the main event. Um, I think that one will be way better than this one. I can't think of their names right now, but that is going to be a great fight. But with all that being said, you know, let me know y'all thoughts on the fight. I mean, do y'all think I'm tripping or not? You know, comment, like, subscribe. You know, all the YouTube. You gotta feel this. I'm out.